for this. So we're going to get into a live conversation here. I just posted a shorts video about this topic because when I started in radiology, I was excited to be a radiology technologist. So if you've been in the field for 5 years or more, this live is for you. I'm not teaching tonight. I'm just reflecting. I'm in my car in the sun, just reflecting because I've been in the profession for a long time. And I made some career pivots that really have taught me some things. And I want to share that with you all. No expert on what's best for anybody else. I'm sharing my journey and what worked, what didn't work, little flubs that I made in my career. So if this is you, let's get into the chat and make sure you guys comment. I really would love to have you guys interact with this. I'm on my lunch break chat. So I'm going to be here for about 15 minutes talking about this topic, maybe 10, because I got to get back in. I got patience. So I'm curious what we thought switching modalities would fix. So I don't know about you guys, but I do X-ray, CT, MRI, a little bit of mammography, clinical applications. I've done a lot in the profession. I've been an educator in radiology. And I just want to ask you guys, how many modalities, how many careers have you switched up? And what did you think it would fix? What we learned it didn't fix? How about that too? Because I'm curious. Because I thought switching modalities would fix things. And what we learned, it didn't always fit things. If you say, hey, Caleb, thank you, Caleb, for jumping in and giving me a hello and a wave. Thank you so much. Let's see. So, it's a lot. If you live in an area that has lots of nuke med jobs, do you see the field lasting the long haul and growing? That's a great question. While we're talking about pivoting to another modality, that's a perfect question that Cube Gaming 2300 gave, because I do see nuclear medicine being around for a while. Back in 2006, I applied in 2005, 2006, I applied to a nuke med program, got accepted. First day, I was getting dressed, going, I don't know if you guys have seen my story, going to school the first day, I get a call from the hospital. My dad had a massive heart attack. He was in ICU for 30 days. I never got a chance to continue that. And that was back in 2006. When I started in radiology years before that, nuclear medicine was thriving. And I look at where it was then, where it became 2006, and where it is now. Oh my goodness. Yes, I think it does depend on what area you live in as far as jobs for anything, but especially nuclear medicine. More specialized you get, the less jobs there are in comparison to radiology technology, if that makes sense. So people say, oh, there are no jobs in nuclear medicine. People stay in those jobs forever. That is true. People do not leave nuclear medicine unless it's for a health reason or they're just retiring out. But most people, like the first nuclear medicine tech I knew, he had been a nuclear medicine tech since he was like 18 or 19. And this joker was at least 70 plus years old, and he was still walking around in his white lab coat. He wasn't going anywhere. And he was still working years later as a nuclear med tech. I saw him at a party. We happened to see each other in a party in town, and I was like, are you still? He's like, I finally retired. He was never going anywhere. Oh my goodness. So I think it depends on where you live. I hope that answers your question, but I do feel like it's a great field to go in. I, of course, would tell you to definitely go in it. The sun is beating on my phone, so I'm going to get it out of the sun before it gets too hot. Okay, so wow, it's like 30 degrees here. I have my RT and CT, and I'm currently trying to get my MRI now. I think better pay, less strain on the body. Okay, so this is why I did this live, because we're talking about pivoting from X-ray to CT to MRI. I just actually posted a reel on Instagram. I'm getting ready to post it here on YouTube, but it doesn't always fix things, y'all. It doesn't. I'm going to tell you, because I left X-ray because money would be better over in CT, the schedule. It was an opportunity for me to learn another modality early in my career. Why wouldn't I move? Well, I was like, I won't have to do, I won't have to do barium enemas. I won't have to do. And the hospital that I started out, it was second shift. It was more inpatient. It was some outpatient, but we didn't do a lot of anything. It was nothing like barium enema kind of stuff. Well, I took a job somewhere else in CT, and I worked second shift. And that ER doctor, he ordered rectal CT contrast on anybody that came through with abdominal pain. And when everybody came through the ER, of course, with abdominal pain, so I was doing rectal contrast. I think I did more CT rectal contrast studies than X-ray barium enemas ever in my career. And I'm going to tell you, it wasn't bad, but some days were pretty bad. Some days were pretty bad. And these are the things where we talk about the realization of moving from one modality to another because you think, oh, it's going to be easier. I found CT to be, if not busier, just as busy as X-ray. X-ray and CT can go toe-to-toe in how busy you are. Up and down, up and down, up and down. I love CT. I still do CT to this day. I will never give it up. I enjoy it because some days I want to be moving. I want to roll around. I want to jump around. I want to move fast. But some days I don't. So that is why I went over to MRI. And here I'm thinking I left X-ray, left the barium enemas behind. Well, go to CT. Oh, now we got to do rectal contrast. Oh my goodness. Well, now I'm going to go to MRI because it's not going to be that busy. And guaranteed, when I first went to MRI, it was not. We were done by 5 o'clock. You didn't work on weekends. None of that jive. Well, that's quickly changed. And the ER started ordering MRIs like they order CTs, right? And so my plan to move to another modality because it was easier did not work at all, because MRI is just as busy. You get called in. I remember when I was on call for MRI, I rarely got called in. Like, I could go out of town on a plane and know I'd be that confident I would not get called in. And I had done that before. Well, I would never do that now because you actually get called in. You do start to get called in the MRI a lot more now. And now when I talk about leaving X-ray because of barium enemas, that's not why I left X-ray. I didn't mind barium enemas, but sometimes people think, well, let me leave this modality because I go to this one, I won't have to do that. Well, that was not the case. CT had rectal contrast, and MRI, we do defecograms, or people call them defecograms. I call them defecograms. That's what I call them. Basically, you defecate on the MRI table while we're doing MRI scans of you. And the reason those are done, I know before you guys say, like, what in the world? Why are doctors asking patients to do that? Very good reason why. The reason why is because some people have fistulas, they have issues with going to the restroom, and you cannot tell what is the problem unless you watch it live. The best detail of all of those muscles and everything in the rectum is using ultrasound gel that we put into the rectum of the patient, and we tell them to squeeze and bear down. We give them several instructions to don't push out, but bear down. So if you ever have to have this exam, or if you ever to do it, there is going to be instructions all through. You have to hold it and bear down because certain muscles start to work when you do certain things. So if you're pushing out, certain muscles work. If you're just bearing down without pushing out, that's a different muscle in the rectum. The radiologists want to see how your muscles in the rectal area work. And the best way to do that is by defecating on the table during an MRI scan. So I'm thinking, hey, I'll never have to do rectal contrast again. I'll never have to do barium enemas again because I'm in MRI. Well, that is not the truth. So I'm here to let you know, if you hop from modality to modality because you're trying to escape something, you will never escape it. One thing about imaging, we cross over. It's kind of like when you watch Chicago Med and you like Chicago. You don't want to watch Chicago Fire, but you want to watch Chicago Police. I forget what it's called. I don't know. I don't watch the police one. I like Med and I like Fire. So I watch Med first, and when they have a crossover, I love to do the crossover from Chicago Fire to Chicago Med. And because I never watched the Chicago Police one, I always watch it when they do the crossover. So there's kind of my point is, if you leave one modality because you're thinking, I don't ever want to put in IVs, I'm so sick of IVs, you're going to do IVs. We have to be able to put IVs in as a CT technologist, as an MRI technologist. You cannot run from it. So as you make your pivots and your transitions, or you're looking to pivot in your radiology career, I encourage you, embrace the things that you don't like or are not as comfortable with, because you'll most likely at some point in your career have to do those things later. So let me ask you this. What did you think switching modalities would save you from? I would love to. I look at these comments. What did you think switching modalities would save you from? I shared mine, so share yours with me. So the next question is, I'm just a second year, but I don't think I would be able to know CT, MR in addition. Please, what do you think about it? Do you think I would be thought very well of a school? Or Caleb, why don't you think you be able to know CT and MRI? They are very compatible. They're both cross-sectional. They just use two principles. CT uses ionizing radiation, which you learn in X-ray school, Radiology Technology school. So you'll be able to have those principles down. Once you learn cross-sectional from CT, you'll be able to take that part over to MRI. You already know the cross-sectional, so now you'll be able to just learn the physics principles of the magnet. That's it. I think you got it. Hopefully that's helpful. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. And Caleb says, or should I focus more on clinicals and I'm going to know it? Yeah. Finish radiology technology school first. Hands down, finish that first. That is what you need to be focusing on. The cross training comes later. The other modalities come later. Get what's most important that's going to allow you to be able to get the cross training and MRI and CT and radiation therapy and nuke med. All of those things come later after you get that ARRT with that R behind it, right? So focus on that. That's what you're in school for. And you got it. You got it. Asking for my daughter, Cuban Gaming says, the girl passed AP everything. Oh, good. Congratulations. Yep, that's happening to me, Felicia says. What is the time in your country? Alicia says, you look easy to draw. Well, I do have a children's book, Mock Fable. I do have a children's book. It's called Rachel the Radiographer. Yes, it is you can get it in my product links in my store. So be sure to check it out. It is the first radiology technology book of its kind, hardback cover, beautiful imaging and pictures written by a radiology technologist. So gift one to someone, gift one to your child's home library, to their classroom, to their daycare, to their school, to your local library. Yes, 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 yes. Can I get some advice? Ashley says, I'm in community college and I want to be a radiologic technologist. Yes. So what I would encourage you is, I'm not sure what pathway you're in for school and community college, but you need to take certain prereqs to go into any health and allied health programs. Talk to your counselor, go to your advisors, let them know what you want to do. They'll look at your transcripts and determine what classes you're missing to do your core classes and what you'll need to take. And then you can apply after that to get into a radiology technology program. What are the reputable travel recruitment agents for X-ray agencies? X-ray, and we're technologists, not technicians, CJ. And which ones to avoid? I don't know. I've only traveled with a couple, and the other, one of them sold out to a big company, so they're no longer in business. But I would say the way you find out who's reputable or not is go to the Better Business Bureau. You can look online at the Better Business Bureau, search your business, and that will tell what complaints people have. You can also find Facebook groups for travelers. Go to Facebook, you can type in travelers and all those things like that, and that will help you to be able to see what other technologists and nurses are saying about these agencies, because they will say some stuff. They would tell you, don't use this recruiter, don't use this recruiter, because it may not be the agency, it actually may be the recruiter, right? So I'm gonna put my socks on because I gotta go back in. I got a patient. Look at these cool socks, y'all. Aren't these so cool? These are so cool. I get to wear these today. So yeah, that's what I would do. But as far as agencies, if you have your experience and you got your state licenses and other license in other states, go ahead and apply to all of those agencies. Don't just pigeonhole yourself into one agency, right? Go see who's willing to fight for you and get you the money, get you the jobs that you want. It's too many travel jobs out there for you to just be with one agency, right? And then once you find what agency you want to be with or who gives you the best deal, then you stick with them. But other than that, don't you let them pigeonhole you into one. Let's see. I got a few more minutes. Let me get this off of here. It's too bright, but it's cold as I don't know what here, but the sun is beautiful. What was the reputable travel recruitment agency? Okay, what degree do I need to have? Radiology technology degrees are going to be associate's degrees at a minimum. You can find bachelor's degree programs. You can find master's degree programs. So you have your pick of the litter. It just depends on what programs are in your area. The way you find those programs that are reputable are through the ARRT. I would encourage you to go to the ARRT and search educational programs, right? And that is going to show you the list. I think you can see in Canada and everywhere, Nova Scotia, all of that. So check it out. I get it now. Thank you, Caleb. Yes, you're welcome. And shady business practices are things to look out when dealing with. Yeah, that's what I would say. Go to Better Business Bureau and get on some of those groups. People can tell you, and they will tell you in those chats, in those groups. Look out for this recruiter. They call the recruiters by name. So I don't know. I've never had a bad experience with any of them. But yeah. Thank you so much, Kumar Rulo, 7609. Thank you so much, Ashley. You're welcome. Does my book teach information about radiology as a beginner? No, it is a children's book to introduce children to our profession, because most of us never heard of radiology technology until we got into it as adults. No one talks to us at school about what a radiology technologist is. And all the books that are out there that people who don't work in our field wrote always make our machines out to be these scary machines. Radiology is cool. It's not scary. So my book is, you can see it on, you can see it. Oh, my patient is checked in, so I'm going to have to end this. But I have enjoyed this live, but you can check out my book right here on my page. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for showing up for this live. Y'all came to the comments with the questions. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to pin a comment. Thank you. You have a great day too. What do you think switching modalities would save you from? And if you have any other questions, put them in the comments. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day. I got to get back to work.